Hello ladies and gents, it's Hagbard Celine here on another beautiful afternoon, and today we will be discussing the true history of the black man in America, or the Moor Man. And no, we're not discussing the Mormons, although I am shocked that they haven't jumped on that little linguistic phenomenon yet, considering that most of their pieces contain evidence like the following.
Nice whip.
What the hell are you doing? Who's supposed to be dressed like, Jay?
Little Wayne. It's what he wore at his last runway show.
Oh, Lil Wayne.
You told me I needed to try to fit in, so I stayed up all last night studying your culture.
I'm sorry, what?
And to those who say jazz is the only indigenous American art form, I say listen to a little Jay-Z, my friend. Oh, I forgot the gin and juice. Should I run back inside?
So, when it's become abundantly clear that the producer of this video series is incapable of A, hashing out the fact that this is a movie, B, this is a comedy, and C, the use of indigenous means to have come from this country, i.e. America, which is to say that most of the other musical styles have come from, say, Europe, or the continent of Asia, or the continent of Africa. And one of the few, quote-unquote, indigenous musical stylings is jazz, or blues, or rock and roll. Do you see how that works? It isn't the music of an indigenous people, but when he sees indigenous, he thinks black. So, having whet your appetite for what's ahead and braced you for the style of video that we're about to see, I bring you Barack Obama and the Indigenous Moors of America. The lyrics to the introductory song appear to be, "The problem is that we started thinking like our colonists." This ought to be good, right? Just for the note, all of the rough cuts and the disparities between the qualities in this video have nothing to do with me. This is all how the original material was assembled, and I'll leave a link in the description for you to see that it really is just this. For the record, the man pictured is Noble Drew, who was born Timothy Drew, and one day just kind of decided that black people in America were actually West African Moors and should practice the Islamic faith. And just for fun, here's a picture of him looking like something out of Purple Rain.
Moorish Americans are indigenous to America.
The picture we're being shown here was either produced by an angry Republican when he lost, trying to explain to people that Barack Obama was a secret crypto-Muslim, or was photoshopped by the maker of this video. Here are two more examples of people photoshopping this image for their own gain.
Now we have the president, foreign diplomat, representing the United States Corporation Company.
For those of you not following, this is crazy Uncle Ted that lives in our parents' shed levels of crazy. He says Barack Obama is a foreign diplomat that rules the corporation now known as American, and he calls him out on the fact that he is indeed Kenyan and not black. Those are two very different things. Kenyan American is a nationality, mind you. Differentiated, of course, from black American to these gentlemen.
His name is Barack H. Obama.
I am proud to be the first American president to come to Kenya. And of course, I'm the first Kenyan American to be president of the United States. That goes without saying.
While I do find it interesting that the president is willing to use his Kenyan American status when it's politically functional, it's not surprising to me. However, did you know that Andrew Jackson is technically our first Irish American president? By the same logic, of course.
Barack H. Obama, knowing the problems that we have here at Morocco and knowing that our people's heads are messed up.
Now, are they discussing Morocco City in Illinois? Morocco as in the concept of Little Morocco that exists in New York City? Or are we speaking Morocco as in the greater Moroccan people in diaspora? I'm leaning towards the last one. But let's take a moment and analyze the names of the two individuals that we're seeing on screen right now. I fear it may not be clear from your screens. However, we're being addressed by the great Dr. Reggie and Professor Larry, internationally recognized Afrocentric scholars and leaders in their field of study, I'm sure.
And also knowing that the world is turning around. And knowing that for these generations to come, that some truths have to come out.
Finish strong on a meaningless platitude and cut to Louis Farrakhan. Fantastic.
The fez that the Shriners wear is the fez of the Moors, is the fez of the Moors, is the fez of the Moors.
Yes, the original editor of this video prefers the triple repeat, just to hammer home any points he makes.
And the tassel on its top is tied down. It was not allowed to swing a full 360 degrees because they only had 33.
Mind you, this is only included in this little clip because the Moors, or the Moor Science Society of America, or whatever one of the multitude of titles that they're operating under, seem to be imitating or at least attempting to reproduce the existent model of the Shriners, a fraternity born out of the Freemasons, using Near East Arabic themes.
So he went to Hikupta, which is the proper name of Egypt. All scholars know that. Right now, give me a reference.
Even the interviewer here appears to want some sort of citation or reference, but our fearless hero here powers right through that.
Finish. Give me a reference. Let me finish. So he went to Hikupta and exposed that the American Constitution is derived from Muslim law.
The only people who have ever said that have been Islamic scholars.
Which all scholars always knew.
The first nation to recognize my country was Morocco.
Yes, Morocco has served as our economic gateway into Africa and near Asia, as well as we were reinforcing the mere existence of the new empire of Morocco, as they insisted in combating the Barbary pirates.
In signing the treaty.
As I said, he seems to like doing repetition in threes.
Right? Now, Michelle triangulates go to the Alhambra, the last stronghold of the Moors. They have pictures taken of them by the international community coming through double doors, dealing with the Kabbalistic principles, ancient African culture, higher self, lower self.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is official that walking through a set of double doors makes you somehow associated with the Cabal. I'm not sure, but apparently walking through double doors is black magic now. As for the picture he uses here, it is another blatant fake. That flag is the flag of the Marines. The green star is photoshopped and, I'll even admit badly, into position. Okay, I think I've had about enough of the rambling idiot on the street. His point is that due to Obama signing on in 2010 to the UN Indigenous Peoples Bill or Act or some such thing, what they've done is said that since they are the Moors and they are indigenous, they have the right to form their own Moorish nation, just like the Native Americans have reservations, without seeming to realize that reservations aren't the way to go, economically, if you will. Before we leave these two, let's ask ourselves the important question, though. Exactly how is this not Pops from the Wayans brothers?
Money being made around here, bang! Money being made around here, bang! Big old cars, rain, rubber, diamonds and rings. If you like that kind of thing, money being made around here, money being made around here, money being made.
But let's get to the people that I believe made this very brief film.
But the Moors know this. You know the Masons know this. You know the Jesuits know this. You know government officials know this.
The Moors, the Jesuits, the Masons, and the government. You couldn't get a whole lot more conspiracy bingo than this, could you?
You know the industrialists know this.
Oh, come on. We got industrialists. Now I'm banksters from bingo. Come on.
But everybody's silent. Why? It's not to their economic benefit for these troops to be out.
Of course, it's easy for any madman to peddle his personal theory of how the world has come to be, especially in a world where gullibility is the main currency.
But some adults have difficulty handling that.
And that's how they ended their video, with a man without introduction who we have no idea how he fits into any of this aside from it's a black man in a fez, saying that some adults just can't handle this. Now, this is a short video, and I can't wholly judge this on that, as it appears as though the exact same group has made hours of videos explaining how the Moors are the true original people of America. And I would advise you all check it out because it is just hours of hilarity. But I've taken about as much of this as I can, so I hope I've been able to provide some brief entertainment in your day. I hope that the existence of a Moroccan Pangea and the truth about the African man in America hasn't frightened anyone off. And, as usual, stay safe, good luck, and goodbye.